It's just been a flood of fans all weekend long, and no better place to celebrate Easter Sunday than right here at the ballpark. It's a bump day Sunday for Jacob Lopez as he takes the field with the defense behind him. We got a rubber match here against the Astros. Both teams have scored 11 runs in each game. So Astros scored 11 last night, the A's 2 nights ago. Jose Altuve will lead off. Yordan Alvarez with Carlos Correa batting third. Walker, the cleanup hitter, back in as Cam Smith against the lefty. Diaz, Myers, Loperfido, and Allen to follow.
And it's Southpaw Sunday. That's right. Jacob Lopez on the bump. Second start of the season, coming off a bit of a rocky outing against Atlanta. His first time out, dealt with some command issues, walked 5, did not punch out a hitter. But I think for Jacob Lopez, he's got a team in the Houston Astros that he has pitched well against. You saw him twice last year, Chris. 10 1/3 innings, just 1 earned run allowed over those 10 1/3 innings. That's an ERA of under 1, and he's going to be backed by pretty solid defense.
Soderstrom left. Lawrence Butler gets the start in center with Carlos Cortez in right. Muncy and Kurtz in the corners. Wilson and McNeil up the middle with Shea Langoliers behind the plate. Jose Altuve is welcomed to the plate with a very warm Easter welcome from the West Sacramento crowd, and Lopez will fire in the first pitch. It misses away, 1-0. A's won game 1 of this series 11-4 against Houston. It was a total offensive performance by the A's, really just a complete ball game from top to bottom. Defensively, pitching, hitting, it had it all. Then the Astros blanked the A's in game 2, 11-0. Umpiring crew today, Nick Lentz behind the plate, Jacob Metz at first, Edwin Moscoso at second, and Vic Carapazza, the crew chief, is at third. That misses. 3 balls and no strikes.
Well, it's the first time we've seen Jose Altuve in the leadoff spot this series. It was Jeremy Pena for the 2 games to start this series. Mr. Pena not in the lineup this afternoon, getting a day off. Remember, battling that fractured index finger. And Altuve letting it fly, 3-0. I think sometimes, Chris, that's going to be maybe the best pitch you see in an at-bat, should you be able to get to a 3-0 count.
3-1 to Altuve. Again pulls the trigger, fouls it back.
Well, it's Nick Lentz behind the plate this afternoon. Take a look at some of the tendencies from Mr. Lentz. Went directly to umpire school right after high school. Age 18. Look, when you know, right? Speaking of knowing, all 6 ABS challenges have come at the top of the strike zone for Mr. Lentz. Only 2 were overturned.
3-2 and a strikeout. Lopez battles back. Gets a foul tip caught by Langoliers for the first out of the game.
Considering Jacob Lopez did deal with some command issues in his start in Atlanta, it's nice to see him come all the way back in this at bat here against Altuve to lead it off. Cutter, upper portion of the strike zone, and Langoliers able to hold on for the first out of the ball game.
Infield will play Alvarez to pull. And the first pitch is a touch low, 1-0.
Last season, Jacob Lopez, I think all in all, very good campaign. 113 strikeouts, 7th amongst MLB rookies.
And Dallas, you look at Lopez's stuff and his fastball, it's low to mid-90s. Pretty much in the lower 90s. What makes it so deceptive for hitters when you see him firing that fastball? Because it's not like he's blowing doors off of these hitters. He's just locating well, it seems.
Well, it's a combination of command and the fact that he's got good extension. He can get down the slope, and I think we've talked about it at times, and that's where we start to have the perceived velocity conversation. If it feels like you're that much closer to the hitter when you let go of the baseball, you can kind of make up for a lack of velocity that you see, I think, on average. Chris, came across a number the other day that just, it did it. I don't want to say it took me by surprise, but it just it just reminded me of what kind of stuff we're dealing with in the game. Here in the early go of the season, average fastball, 95 miles an hour. I mean, that's humming.
Yeah.
That is humming. When I was playing this game way back when, and you were watching at home, I mean, fastballs at 95 plus, they would start to put those velocities in red on your score bug at home.
Some you could see even like a fire graphic.
Exactly.
Three and two. Outside, and Alvarez will draw a walk.
Well, let's take a look at StatCast, powered by our friends at Google Cloud. And here's the toolbox for the left-hander: four-seam fastball, slider, cutter, changeup, and sinker. And I always talk about the buffet of fastballs. You got a four-seamer, you got a cut fastball, you got a sinking fastball. So you think about a fastball heading in three different directions. One stays true. That's the four-seamer. That one right there, a little cut. You can see Correa acknowledge it. And then a little sink, the one that's going to move to the arm side. So you might be able to find yourself navigating tough portions of a lineup by deploying multiple variations of the fastball.
He's gotten ahead of Correa 0-2. That's something that we couldn't say much of yesterday at all for most any of the A's pitchers that came into the game. Command was an issue. Free passes were the biggest issue in my time here, seeing 13 walks as a club against the Astros. 0-2 pitch. Back-to-back strikeouts. This is Lopez coming off of a start where he didn't have any. Now he has two in the early going.
And I think that's something that can really help you settle in, coming off an outing where you felt like you were maybe behind the 8 ball more than you were ahead of guys. You punch out a big bat like Correa. You take care of the leadoff hitter in Altuve with a punch out. And now in a spot where you can work around the big bopper Alvarez and take care of business against Walker, and you feel like you've avoided some trouble.
Christian Walker is 3 for 7 this series with a double, a home run, 2 runs batted in. And a home run against Luis Morales in the 3rd inning. At that point, he put the Astros up 3-0. They eventually won 11-0.
Christian Walker right in the thick of this Astros offense. You said it, they posted 11 runs, 7 for 22 with runners in scoring position. So it was timely hitting all afternoon.
Lopez getting the sign. 0-2 to Walker with Alvarez at first. And the 0-2 pitch. Check swing, did he go? They will not appeal.
I think that's probably the right call. Christian Walker able to hit the brakes just in time.
1-2 pitch. There we go. Strikes out the side. Much more representative of Jacob Lopez. 3 strikeouts. And that's how the game will start. No score. A's bats coming up. Soderstrom, Rooker, Wilson, Lawrence Butler will play center field at bat 6th. Muncy, McNeil, and Carlos Cortez gets the start against the right-hander. Kurtz 2 for 24 to start the young season. First pitch is down low. 1 ball and no strikes. 1 for 7. Did have a hit yesterday in what was a 5-hit offensive performance that yielded no runs for the Athletics. Now 1-1 after the foul ball. 2 balls and a strike. Kurtz has 2 walks on this series, and he faces Lance McCullers Jr.,
a fellow these Athletics are very familiar with. Lance McCullers coming off a injury-riddled 2025, but that's to understand that he missed all of 2023 as well as 2024. Flexor tendon issue that eventually required surgery. Was able to find his way back on the mound.
3-1 fouled away.
And Chris, is somebody who battled injuries throughout my career, I can fully appreciate what sort of a mental hurdle it is to have to clear. Not feeling physically able, and eventually I think you just have to make peace with the idea that getting back on the mound is what you want to do, and results aside, can I continue to find my way to the pitcher's mound routinely, and if so, that's a win. And you just hope that eventually you'll be able to kind of block out those physical hurdles. That a big. Found his Easter egg early.
McCullers having to navigate around this ballpark for the first time in his career. Has not made a start in West Sacramento yet. 3-2. Fouled off. He did make a start on May 28th against the Athletics at home. Diaz unable to hang on here. May 28th of last year, 6 innings, 3 earned runs, a walk, and 12 strikeouts. Ended up a no decision. 3-2. Down low, Kurtz works a walk. As he trots on over to first, we'll take a peek at Houston's defense today. Loperfido in left, Myers in center, Smith in right. 3 Gold Glovers on the infield. Correa at third, Altuve at second, Walker at first. Nick Allen gets to start at shortstop, and Yainer Diaz behind the plate for Lance McCullers Jr.
Skipper Joe Espada looking on from the dugout, 3rd season at the helm for the Astros.
First pitch and Langoliers pops it into shallow right. Smith on the right. Altuve who's going to get there. No one's going to get there. Into the triangle, and just very little communication between the 3 defenders. Walker and Altuve going out. Smith thought it was the infielder's ball, and he kind of trotted in on it.
Well, there's a lot that has to go on in terms of communication with those 3 fielders, and frankly, you're just not really close enough at any point in time, and nobody has a beat on it. And so there's not much to communicate unless you feel like you're the lead horse in that race, and I don't think either of the defenders felt like they had a better shot than the other. And I mean, if we could, I'd love to go back and show you Nick Kurtz, because this is a fantastic read. Nick Kurtz could very well hang out right here, but he slowly but surely starts to inch his way to second base, knowing what I just said, that no defender had a great read on it.
Soderstrom swings and pops it up. Out of play, foul. It just tails out. And another nice catch by a fan today. Well, he brought his own glove, probably ended up with another glove with the glove giveaway today, Dallas.
Well, it looks like it's the personal one that made the play here. Bring a basket, find a Nick.
From your friends at 44 Pro.
Solid.
Not the snakeskin, but we'll take it. Well, these are chances the A's just simply didn't have yesterday, and they found themselves with a runner in scoring position and nobody out against a very lethal starter in McCullers when he's healthy. 1-2 pitch, ground ball to the shortstop Allen. He'll step on the bag, throw to first, and a 6-3 double play gets 2 big outs for McCullers.
And that's the kind of pitch you need to make in that situation if you're Lance McCullers. A guy who I think with his arsenal feels like at any point in time he can dial up a ground ball. Since 2015, 3rd best ground ball rate among active pitchers, 55.4%. And that's got double play demon written all over it.
Rooker takes outside.
That's something else that we'll get into throughout the outing for Lance McCullers is maybe a shift in arsenal, shift in pitch usage after coming back from surgery, and I think having some conversations with teammates, not only on some mechanical things that were cleaned up, but understanding he's a heavy supinator, right? Spin, spin, spin. I've referred to him as the spin doctor throughout his career because of that right there. Sweeper, slider, curveball, little cutter. I mean, that's 4 pitches that you supinate, you get around, and sometimes that can lead you down a mechanical path that needs to be cleaned up.
Now 3-1 to Rooker. Change up low. He's looking for a run in the first inning, something they have not done up to this point yet in 2026. 3-1 pitch. Rooker takes. He's patient at the plate, watches it miss outside. Second walk this inning by McCullers Jr., and he will have to contend with Wilson.
We talked about how there just wasn't a ton of opportunities maybe for the Athletics yesterday. 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. To your point about not being able to push a run across in the first inning, an opportunity here.
On the stretch, Wilson checks the swing and fouls it away.
Well, these two have a little history. Take you back to Dyken Park. Jay Willie up and over the Crawford boxes. That's right.
One ground ball, Weekly rolled to third, charging Correa, grabs it with his glove, throws to first. It's a low strike, but it's there. Wilson is retired, and the A's unable to score in the first inning. No score. Let's go to the second.
No score here in the early go. Time now for Wire Cam, brought to you by Defy. All the beautiful shots we've seen over opening weekend here at the ballpark in West Sac, brought to you by our Wire Cam and good folks at Defy. Shots of the berm, shots of the crowd, shots of the ball game. Lentz, where that one. Chevaliers quickly does an about face to check on Mr. Lentz, and that is squared up. Take a listen. Oh, my. You know what? I like the hat. Not a full bill like you see on Mr. Carapazza. As my man Shooty Babbitt would call it, a stingy brim. See Nick Lentz still kind of shaking off the cobwebs there.
So ball and a strike to Smith. Came off the bench yesterday. Provided a home run in the 8th inning. It's kind of at that point insult to injury. It was the final run scored by the Astros. He's on a 5-game hitting streak and pops this up a mile high to shallow center. McNeil calling everyone off and making the catch. Yainer Diaz 5 for 8 this series. 3 runs batted in. He started in all 3 games this series, but yesterday was the DH. provided 3 hits to the Astros' 18-hit cause.
He had 3 hits. The man that was in the squad, Christian Vasquez, added another 3. I mean, between the 2 backstops, they out-hit the A's offense.
Hit in the air to right center field. Butler has a beat on it, loses his cap, but makes the catch. 2 away.
How nice is it to have a guy like Lawrence Butler give Denzel Clark a bit of a breather? You could slide the law dog on over from right into center. He becomes the quarterback. You plug in Cortez. There's Denzel. Taking in a Sunday afternoon ball game. I did not have a chance to talk to Denzel, see if he caught the ball game last night that had, for my money, 3 of the best defensive plays in a ball game by a single player. That was Joe Adell. We'll get to that a little later, but my goodness.
Well, Joe Adell had a tremendous game. 3 home run robberies, as you mentioned, but none of them were the best catch in that stadium's history. That belongs to Denzel Clark.
I would agree with you. I think there's a fair argument to make that that last catch by Joe Adell, considering the magnitude of the moment, also with the Halos winning 1-0. That run came very early in the ball game off the bat of Zach Neto.
One and 2. Well struck to center, but Butler twists his hips and makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning for Jacob Lopez. Lawrence Butler, the center fielder, leads off in the second. All right, we're back. Ethan and Scott. What an exciting day for them. Happy Easter Sunday to everyone. No score, bottom of the second inning, and Lawrence Butler is up at the plate.
Yeah, Chris, I got to make a couple of friends this afternoon before the ball game, and Scott and Ethan Pesh in the house. Mom Rachel as well. And the reason they're here is, well, because they enjoy a nice leisurely bike ride on a Sunday like most people do. However, that bike ride began March 26th in Seattle, Washington. And they have made their way here to West Sacramento. And they're doing so inspired to raise money for St. Jude, a wonderful charitable organization that does incredible work around the world. And talking to Scott, he said, you know, I've done this before. I did this back in '94. And at the time there were 28 teams in the league. And we made our way around the country and had a great time. He and some college track teammates out at Humboldt State. And he said, you know what? Let's do it again. Let's air up the tires. Let's get rolling. And Ethan said, Dad, I'm with you. I mean, what better way to go to the ballpark, right? With family, father and son, but their mom, Rachel, kind of in tow behind him in the RV. Scotty said, Dallas, buddy, I need my rest. So we're pumping out about 100 miles a day as Lawrence Butler down on strikes for the first out of the inning. Some of the colors. There's that cutter. Brings it on back away to the left-hander. They said, we get 100 miles a day under our belt. And at night, I got to rest, I got to recover. So you've got the friendly confines of the RV, again, driven by Mom Rachel. She makes sure that boys are well taken care of in between bike rides. But the goal, to raise $1 million, and 100% of the proceeds supporting life-saving pediatric cancer research and care. And Scott found the inspiration. One of his college professors lost a daughter to pediatric cancer and said, you know what, I want to help. I got to do something. What better way to tie a love and a hobby and a passion and respect you have for someone who's made an impact in your life, and just try to show them that you're thinking of them, that you care. And I mean, the fact that you're able to intertwine baseball with that as well, never a bad thing.
What a nice ovation they got too, Dallas.
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, our man Strawberry brought him up on top of the dugout, introduced everybody in the ballpark to him. They got to do the t-shirt toss. But they plan on ending their trip at the end of September in Miami.
2-2, broken bat, foul. So Muncy will need a new bat. 2 balls and 2 strikes, no score here. 100 miles a day. That is amazing.
Yeah, that's pedal pumping.
Now I'm wondering, these bike people, they're so like sickos. They literally cannot get off the bike. I'm wondering for Easter, do they go 50 miles, 75 miles? Do they take a break at all?
Oh no, no. So they got into town last night, and they'll be on the road to San Francisco here after the ball game. Once he able to hold up.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Once he gets in the air to left field, Loperfido will make the catch right on the warning track to make the second out.
And just a little too far towards the end of the bat there for Max Muncy. Max Muncy had a couple hits yesterday.
Jeff McNeil 2 for 7 on the series. Down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, McNeil will return to New York, a place that made a lot of impact and memories for the weekend series against the Mets next weekend. Citi Field. First the stop at Yankee Stadium. After the off day tomorrow. 2-0 pitch. He holds up. No, he doesn't. He went around.
I'm not sure how pleased Jeff McNeil is with the call. We'll take a peek from the side. I think it's a fair call from Carapazza down at third.
Is that a torpedo bat for McNeil?
That is. Chris, remember, I think a lot of guys initially entertain the thought of the bat, and when you're working against a guy like Lance McCullers, who can sink it, who can slide it, now cutting the baseball even more, the idea of trying to stay inside the ball because you don't want to get caught off the handle, you don't want to get caught off the end of the bat. And I mean, that's an obvious statement regardless who's on the mound, but with that specific arsenal, that's typically how a guy like Lance McCullers, who's one of the rare breeds with that type of arsenal who can generate swing and miss, because there's a lot of swing and miss that comes along with Lance McCullers. But if you're just trying to stay inside the ball, and we know that torpedo bat's purpose is to kind of move the barrel, right? Move the sweet spot maybe a little lower.
3-2 payoff pitch. McNeil strikes out swinging. 1-2-3 inning for McCullers. We go to the third. A's fans win the ultimate Vegas getaway at the end of every A's homestand during the 2026 season, and that is brought to you by Circa Resort. and Casino. On the first game against a left-handed pitcher in this series, Loper Fido did not start. Then, yesterday, after a 3-hit, 2-walk performance, earned himself a start against a lefty in Jacob Lopez.
You know, and respect to Joe Espada for that. Because I think oftentimes it's easy to just fall back on the, I'm not going to call it an excuse, but I think the platoon side of the decision making and say, look, sure, you got a couple hits, you know, seeing the ball well, but guess what? There's lefty on the mound. Take a seat, young fella. And instead, it's quite the opposite. Hey, a couple hits, seeing the ball well. Let's keep you in the lineup.
Loper Fido has been very expressive about how much he loves the Astros organization. Happy to be back. Don't know if that foul ball made Shea Langoliers very happy. One ball and 2 strikes to Loper Fido. Swing and a miss. Got him on the slider. That's 4 strikeouts for Lopez.
Speed him up, slow him down, spin it away when in doubt. Nice little sweeping slider there from Jacob Lopez.
Nick Allen gets the start at shortstop today. Takes strike 1.
This is where for Jacob Lopez, you had a front row seat to watch Jeffrey Springs go to work. How he was able to have success. And I said that I feel like what we saw from Jeffrey Springs.
Allen has another hit. That's his 3rd hit of the series. So a 1-out single for Nick Allen.
And they haven't necessarily been feathery either. I mean, you had the one dribbler, but Nick Allen has now barreled a couple balls. This one able to find a hole on the left side of the infield. And much like you want to see the Astros now able to turn their lineup over, and it's going to be Jose Altuve. Good block by Shea. But for Jacob Lopez, as I was mentioning, you just watched Jeffrey Springs go to work and what kind of job he did by keeping this opposition off balance. And a lot of it started and really finished and had to do with the fastball command of Mr. Springs. But I also think the fact that what you're seeing from Jacob Lopez here in the early go shows you that he's been around the strike zone with the secondary offerings as well. And that's a key component.
Lopez will check the runner at first. Miss outside, 3-1. Well, after Morales' performance, 3 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 6 walks, and no strikeouts, you want something a little longer from Jacob Lopez, especially heading to the Big Apple, biggest market in the country, against two premier teams in the Yankees and Mets. But he'll walk Altuve, now first and second, and just one out. And Yordan Alvarez is coming up for a second time.
Well, Alvarez worked that free pass back in the first inning. Now you've got Nick Allen in scoring position. Jacob Lopez. Last thing you want to do is load up the bases, but you got to be careful here against Yordan Alvarez.
Alvarez played left field yesterday. And he had one at bat, 5 plate appearances, 4 walks, a run scored, and an RBI single.
I was going to say, it took him a while to even swing the bat. First 4 plate appearances resulted in walks.
The walk bug was contagious yesterday for A's pitching. Tied a career high for Alvarez, 4 walks in a game. Called strike. Hard to believe that he had done it previously.
Great job by Langoliers behind the plate here. I mean, Lopez executes at the very bottom of the zone, but Shea dressing that pitch up, giving Nick Lentz a good long look at it.
Just outside 3-2.
Well, let's see if they decide to triple up on the fastball here. This one misses. Glove side.
Three and 2. Lifted in the air to right. McNeil goes out, calls off Cortez, and makes the catch. And Carlos looked like he broke back initially, so McNeil able to cover the ground for the second out.
Anytime you find yourself behind in the count against a guy like Yordan Alvarez and they're still able to generate weak contact like that, you have to consider that a victory.
Inside, 1 ball and no strikes to Correa. He struck out swinging back in the first, where Lopez struck out 3 hitters. He has added a 4th this inning. That was his 50th pitch of the game. Two and 0 to Carlos Correa. A grunt, a slider, a strike. 2-1.
Well, it was 5 walks in his last outing. He was able to get through 4 innings. And I think with how the ball game started, those fastball by Correa here. But the way that ball game started in Atlanta, you told me he was still going to be able to get through 4 innings after the lack of command that we saw from the beginning of the ball game. I'm not sure that I would have believed you, but he was able to put up a decent battle. Now here 2-2 with 2 outs. Got to finish the at bat off against Correa.
The 2-2 pitch from the stretch. Correa takes high, and Langoliers is going to challenge here.
Well, Correa Shook his head. And remember, all 6 ABS challenges against Nick Lentz came at the top of the zone.
Call. Letting have 1 challenge remaining.
Only 2 of those have been overturned. Make that 7 now.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile. First and second, 2 outs, 3-2 count. Both runners get a head start. And a payoff pitch coming from Lopez, and he struck him out. Took a little longer than he would have liked, but he gets a pair of strikeouts in the third. A very big strikeout at that. 5 Ks for Lopez. We'll go to the bottom of the third with no score. Bench your mobile provider for better coverage and bigger savings with Xfinity Mobile, and get Wi-Fi and 5G that won't strike out. Xfinity. Imagine that. Carlos Cortez is up, no score. Jacob Lopez 5 strikeouts through 3 innings, so starting to look more like himself in his second start of the year, his first at the ballpark in West Sacramento. Correa plays in, Cortez fouls it off, 1-1. Carlos came off the bench in the 8th inning, had a pinch hit single to left. We'll be seeing him doing a lot of that in 2026.
Well, and I think the fact that Carlos is not only comfortable in that role, he's also a guy who at any given time, much like this afternoon, you have total confidence in to start the ball game.
Bounces over on it to the second baseman, Altuve, 1 down.
I talked about Lance McCullers and maybe a shift in arsenal a bit, some mechanical adjustments he made. Now I want you to check out the arm angle here, and it's a little different than what we've seen in years past for Lance. This year about 35 degrees. When you go back a couple years ago, remember he missed 2023 and 2024. But you go back to last year, and even in 2022, 25 degrees. So he's worked his way up a little more in terms of release point. And I think that has probably, as Nick Kurtz not able to hold up, says Vic Carapazza. But he's just a little more freed up to be on top of the baseball at certain times. And when you start thinking about a cutter, looks like Diaz is going to give it a challenge.
Pitcher's call the ball. The catcher is challenging.
The A's burned a challenge last half inning. ABS is powered by T-Mobile, and it is a strike.
Call is overturned. Count is 1-2.
So the Astros retain their second challenge, and it's 1-2 to Kurtz. Colors over his head, and the 1-2 pitch is hit sharply to short and past Allen. Struck well by Kurtz. He'll take that base hit with 2 strikes every day of the week.
Well, that's a good sign. We know how this series started off. Kurtz just missing a opposite field homer in his first at bat. He's hit a couple balls hard throughout the series. Some of them right at people. And this one, I think you almost saw Nick Allen just make a business decision and say, you know, that's 110 miles an hour off the bat. I'm not sure I have enough time to get in front of that, and I don't know if I want to find out what it would be like.
Almost looked like it could have hit the second base bag in the air. I wonder if Allen was accounting for that as well. Almost shielding him on the hop. Langlear's had a bloop single into right his last time up. Now has Kurtz on first and the right side wide open. On the stretch, McCullers misses outside, 1-1.
Well, and you can See Diaz there just gesture ever so slightly to Lance with his throwing hand. Yeah, that was away. It was away because I think McCullers thought he might have clipped the zone there.
Kurtz is on the move. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball. And Kurtz will swipe second base with a steal.
Kurtzy the burner, huh? How about it?
Pitcher saw the ball. Catcher is challenging.
I mean, Nick Kurtz got a great jump. Nick Lentz right now is being called into question again. Third time here this inning. ABS powered by T-Mobile. A ball is a ball.
Call confirmed. Houston has 1 challenge remaining.
Now both teams down to a challenge for the remainder of the ball game. Just the 3rd inning here.
This is the first time for Nick Lentz where there have been multiple challenges away from the upper portion of the strike zone. 2-1. Shea sweeps it foul. That was great earlier in the game, you giving the umpire tendencies. Now ABS brings an entirely new element to the game where you can look at how guys are challenging umpires, which I never would have thought of before you brought it up.
Well, and I think you got to tip your cap to our man David Feldman, who does a great job in prepping some of those notes. And I mean, he dug deep and started to go through the challenges, and I think that's the shift.
Lifted in the air to right, could be trouble again for Smith on the run, and he's got it on the line. So Cam Smith able to read this one at the last second, sticks his paw out, makes a nice catch for the second out of the bottom of the 3rd inning.
And Cam Smith had to run a little bit. Not an easy play. There's just not a ton of space in between that foul line and the wall. You've almost got to speed up and slow down at the same time.
Soderstrom grounded into a 6-3 double play that effectively erased the A's chances in the 1st inning. They had 2 on and nobody out. That's the nature of the ball game. Now he has Kurtz on second, 2 away, and an RBI opportunity once more. Another good crowd on hand this home opening series.
There's that breaking ball, knuckle curve. Downward movement, got Soderstrom out in front.
Pickoff attempt that goes into center field, and Kurtz will take off for 3rd.
Well, the speed threat that is Nick Kurtz has gotten the attention of Lance McCullers and company. Looking to try to find an out on the base path back there. Nick Allen flashes glove. And Lance McCullers sends it into center field. Kurtzy over to 3rd now. You would love to be able to pick Nick Kurtz up here with 2 outs. Tyler Soderstrom sitting in a 1-2 count against the guy who can punch tickets with the best of them, Chris. This meeting on the mound now between Diaz, Correa, and Lance McCullers, brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price.
It's always good to see the opposing team have meetings on the mound. More often than not, that means the A's are producing offense. Yesterday, there were a lot of A's meetings on the mound.
Yeah, a lot of what we call one-way conversations as well.
So 1-2 to Soderstrom. Kurtz dances off of 3rd. Tyler takes up and away. With Correa playing back. Slim chance to try and back pick Kurtz in 3rd, especially after the throwing error from McCullers earlier.
Yeah, that's not happening. Nick Kurtz is going to be able to get off a long way.
Soderstrom staying patient, 3-2.
And that's something to keep in mind with a guy like Lance McCullers, who likes to spin the baseball. Now 3-2, he's got to make a quality pitch, but prior, if he wanted to bury one, Nick Kurtz off far enough, that ball doesn't have to squirt too far away.
3-2, called strike 3. Soderstrom is out. He didn't like the call there. That will end the third inning. A's strand Kurtz on third, and through 3 we have no score. From the Capitol to the Tower Bridge, you cross that bridge and you head to the ballpark in West Sacramento on a beautiful Easter Sunday. And it is just a gorgeous day in West Sacramento. We have been treated to 3 wonderful nights and days against the Astros. Yesterday the scoreline wasn't the greatest, but we're locked into nothing battle here. Jacob Lopez has 5 strikeouts, including 1 against this man, Christian Walker, up for a second time. Walker gets underneath it and flies it to shallow left center. In the sun, Soderstrom makes the catch.
This high roller is brought to you by Circa Resort and Casino, and high rolling he was. Joe Adell spent all afternoon and evening playing above the rim out in Halo Land. Joe Adell, not 1, not 2, but 3 game-saving home run robberies from the right fielder. An absolutely epic defensive performance, Chris. I was watching that ball game, and the first one, of course you applaud. You're in awe because it's an incredible athletic feat. The second one, you kind of say to yourself, all right, my goodness, like this dude's out of his mind right now. And I think by the time the ball left the bat of the third one, everybody that was watching the ball game was thinking it. Is he about to rob this one too? Is this one coming back? And the answer was yes, it sure is.
Struck well, but foul at the third base side.
I mean, just look at the effort. Joe Adell leaves Mother Earth. Still on this side of the wall. Goes up, makes the catch. Little catch and carry.
Now, what is the ruling on that, Dallas? Because
that's an out. That's what that is. That's an out. That's the game is saved. That's an out, Chris. That's what that is.
The ball did clear the wall, though, and I think that was subject to a bit of controversy on social media as there's a meeting on the mound, which is brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton Price. So, is there any rule? Is it that your body has to be on the other side of the fence? Just you come up with it and it doesn't matter?
You saw where he was. So the lower half. You saw where the lower half was. He's in the field of play. And that's where he makes contact with the baseball. He's in the field of play. Now, should he have had to jump over the fence and then make contact with the ball? That ball has already left the field of play. He would have been touching the ball, making impact with the baseball on the other side of the field of play. That's a home run.
Okay, there we have it.
It's an out. My dude, it is an out.
I'm not questioning you.
It is. I mean, I was screaming at the TV because you have to remember, again, that's why I wanted to contextualize the fact that we applaud Denzel Clark for his ridiculous effort. I mean, we've got a poster up in our booth to commemorate the catch that Denzel made. But the idea that it's a 1-0 ball game, it had stayed 1-0 from the very beginning of the ball game. And those are 3 separate opportunities where the game initially could have been tied, and then you go ahead, and then you tack another on. And Joe Adell all 3 times said, not on my watch.
3-2 to Smith is low. Lopez walks a third hitter.
And, you know, selfishly, I wanted to show that. Number one, because I truly appreciate the athletes that you and I get to watch play this lovely game. But if there's anybody that's going to give Joe Adell a run for his money for the defensive highlight of the year. It's a man who did not start the ball game this afternoon, sitting on the bench. That's Denzel Clark.
Yep. And good for Joe Adell. You know, the last year of his life has been a whirlwind. You know, had a career year for himself. Most games played in a season, 152. Nearly had a 100 RBI season, almost 40 homers. I mean, just high marks and everything, where at one point or another you wondered how long the leash was for Adell in the big leagues, because he was dominating AAA, too good for AAA, but was kind of that fringe major league player where you knew the impact was there, so you had to play him every day. And now it seems that he has found his footing at 26 years old.
And I think for a player and an organization, that's all you really want to have happen, is be given enough time to figure things out and have those opportunities pay off from a player and an organization perspective, because a lot of times we see guys just run out of time. Teams lose patience. They feel like, hey, we've allowed this candle to burn as long as we can. We're going to have to blow it out and make a move. And you find new opportunities. You find a new way to light that candle in a different place. But I think for both parties involved, you're just thankful. But remember, I showed you those Joe Adell catches because I wanted to show you this one selfishly. Shawnoel gave it a ride. Denzel said, "Let me see your ticket, please. You're off this train." Just a phenomenal.
Into center, a deke by the infield, making the catch, Butler. Well, the Angels are a place that has a lot of opportunity for young players. They called up one of their top pitching prospects, George Klassen, today to pitch. It was a shorter outing for him, 2 2/3 with 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 walks and 4 strikeouts in his debut. That looks kind of similar to what Tatsuya Imai did in his first major league start, and we all know what happened yesterday. He was electric.
That's why yesterday's ball game, as I mentioned, you just kind of want to forget about it as quickly as you can. You ran into a buzzsaw on Imai with the way that he was throwing the baseball. Low to mid-90s early, started to tickle the upper 9s as the game went on, supported by an offensive outburst, who I continue to go back with runners in scoring position, did a fantastic job of coming up with a big hit.
Smith is going. Throw down from Langeliers. One hop strike, and
oh no, we've got obstruction.
An obstructed path. McNeil is not happy about it. And here comes Marcotte.
Well, Marcotte is going to come out and have a conversation. Now, what I want you to watch is where Jeff McNeil is located, and he is in front of the bag right now, and he does not have the baseball. So I think that's a great shot. And that's a great explanation as to why. Now watch where his foot is. You see his foot? His foot is right here. So again, watch his left foot right now. Freeze that. You see his left foot right here. That is right in front of the bag, and you don't even see the baseball. You can run it, and now you see the baseball come into play. So the idea that he is in front of the bag, in the base path, obstructing the path to the bag, that's the issue. Should his left foot have been placed on the bag? Totally different story.
And tip of the cap to Jacob Metz for reading that very well at second base. In live time, that's a lot harder to see, but he got that call right.
Well, it's one of the frustrating adjustments that I think middle infielders have been forced to make. You play the game so long and you play it a certain way. And, you know, we know Jeff McNeil, hard-nosed ball player, gritty ball player, not afraid to stick his nose in there But unfortunately, sometimes you're just not able in real time to make some of those adjustments.
Correction, that's Edwin Moscoso at second, excuse me. It's a great call by Moscoso. Three-two payoff pitch is low, and Lopez has 4 walks on the game. To this inning. Dallas, that's now 17 walks over the last game and a half by A's pitching.
And what that turns into is a lot of run scoring opportunities for the opponent, something you just don't want to start handing out.
Loperfido struck out swinging back into third. He takes outside on a sinker, 1-0. Astros waited out Morales yesterday, are doing the same against Lopez.
Very close.
2-0 breaking ball, fouled back.
But I think at this point, part of the strategy when we talk about challenge system these days, you see how Jacob Lopez has kind of had to labor here in back-to-back innings. First inning 19 pitches, second inning took just 11, now 24 in the third, and pitch number 23 here in the fourth coming up. But I got to believe that if you're the Athletics, should you find yourself in a position with guys on base, runners in scoring position, that might be a time you want to start to think about deploying a challenge if necessary. So you probably keep that in your back pocket for a while.
You have 1 remaining. Both teams have 1 challenge remaining. Both the catchers, Langeliers and Yanier Diaz, have used challenge on the defensive side of the ball. 2-2. Weakly grounded to second. McNeil is there, throws to first, and that will retire the side. The Astros strand 2. Lopez 4 scoreless innings of work. Stay.org. No score here. Bottom 4. Rooker, Wilson, Butler, middle of the order. Second time up against McCullers, who has been sharp again today. First pitch is a breaking ball, fouled back. 0-1. Rooker walked his first time up against McCullers. That's one of 2 walks that he issued in the first inning. Since then, has only surrendered 1 hit between the second and third innings of work. 0-1 popped up, and it's out of play again. Rooker behind at 0-2. See quite a few of those gold gloves, that Athletics gold gloves that they've been giving out. Some bunny ears. You got a kiddo with a glove.
And look, I think it's going to make a great ballpark glove.
0-2 pitch, called strike 3. Rooker caught looking.
Well, a pitch that was absolutely dotted by McCullers. Really, it's a ball for about 59.5 feet. Nick Lynn says just clip the black.
Strike 1 to Wilson. He grounded out to the shortstop Allen his last time up. It's a tough play for Nick Allen to make. Grounded the other way and up the right field line for a base hit. Over to get it, Smith. So a 1-out single for Wilson. It's the third hit of the game for the A's.
Jacob Wilson doing a really nice job of shooting that back whip sinker just past Walker.
Correction, Dallas. Wilson in his last at bat grounded out to Correa. Butler struck out swinging, his only time up. Pickoff attempt, diving back in safely as Wilson. Flags gently blowing out to right. From the stretch, outside.
Well, that's going to be the pitch, I think, that Lance McCullers is going to try to put Lawrence Butler away with eventually. It's the cutter. It's a pitch that has given these left-handers fits this afternoon. Butler down on the cutter. Jeff McNeil down on the cutter. Soderstrom caught looking on a cutter.
Walker holds on Wilson at first. Correa in, the rest of the infield over to Pull. And Lawrence was late on that cutter, 2-1.
Well, you can tell it's a pitch that Lance McCullers has gotten very comfortable with.
Two-one pitch, lifted in the alley to left center field. Loperfido slides and makes a great catch. Wilson coming back, double play chance. They're going to convert that. Don't know how Loperfido got to that baseball. What a play by the Astro left fielder. And that'll retire the side.
Well, Loperfido was on his horse and riding at the crack of the bat. Goes into a little slide to relay, able to double off Jacob Wilson.
Get all your highlights, analyses, live updates, and more. Everything the Athletics fan needs. The NBC Sports California app. Download it now. On the bottom of the fourth ended after an electric play by Joey Loperfido in left center field. A laser-driven ball by Lawrence Butler. You didn't think Loperfido was going to get there. He went to a slide on the warning track, made a nice play, relayed it back to first, and Wilson, who was running on contact despite it being 1 out because everybody in this stadium thought that ball was going to drop, gets doubled up to end the inning.
And I'll say it like this. You're a victim of a great at bat by Lawrence Butler. You fall victim to a great swing from Lawrence Butler, who barreled the cutter, shot it up that left center alley. And because it was hit so hard, Chris, that ball continues to tail back towards Loperfido, who made a great initial first step. But you can watch this ball start to tail back to him because it struck so well. Loperfido goes into the slide, pops up, gets it into Nick Allen, who's got a good throwing arm. And they're able to complete the relay. I mean, that's textbook when it comes to making an extraordinary effort from Loperfido, getting up and quickly getting the ball in. Jacob Wilson, who was already around second, had to come back around. You don't get to cut the diamond in half. You got to come back from where you came from. He's touching second.
Lopez has another strikeout, his 6th.
And you can see Willie. He knows how hard that ball's hit, and he's making a gamble, taking off. Unfortunately, the gamble did not pay off. And Lance McCullers, you got to believe, in his head is thinking, man, that's RBI double. But instead, that's a double play.
How about Lawrence Butler just going the other way continually? Had a 3-run home run in game 1.
Well, they're asking Yordan Alvarez to move the on-deck circle.
It's not the first time that's happened at this ballpark. You remember last year against the New York Yankees? A very specific shortstop was creeping his way closer and closer to the mound.
Well, it felt like Volpe was essentially trying to be the second hitter in the at-bat. And this is where advantage to Yordan Alvarez.
Altuve gets it in the air to right, but it'll go out of play.
I mean, you just think about Yordan Alvarez, left-handed hitter, trying to see what he can from the on-deck circle. It's a left-handed pitcher in Jacob Lopez, but the idea that he might be trying to get as close as he can, you're stealing what we call free peeks, right? Free looks at the pitch being delivered. You can see the circle.
Ground ball, and that's through beyond the diving reach of Muncy in the left. Altuve has a hit, and here comes Alvarez. See if those few peaks before they moved the on-deck circle back will pay off for Alvarez. You can see the imprint.
Oh, yeah.
And then move back about, what'd you say, from the front edge to the front edge, about 4 feet.
And if you thought Alvarez was close, how about Carlos Correa? How about him? And I mean, after a certain point in time, like you're on the grass. Look at this. You're on the grass. Buddy, I'm going to need you on the dirt. I'm going to need you out of my line of sight.
That's crushed to right, and it's going to go onto the berm. Yordan Alvarez now ties George Springer with 174 home runs as an Astro. That's 7th all time in Astros history. He opens up the scoring, and they lead 2-0.
Well, this ball was barreled and burned down quickly. 89 middle. Maybe not quite the finish on the cut that Jacob Lopez would have liked. That's a special player in Yordan Alvarez, ladies and gentlemen.
Now Christian Walker is on the dirt. He's not taking the extra space that Correa took.
You mentioned the list of Astros boppers. Yordan and George Springer now tied 174. I told you I feel like Alex Bregman, his place on that list probably in jeopardy by the end of this season. It's just too much of the strike zone to a guy like Yordan Alvarez. He's got count leverage, looking for a pitch up to drive, and he got one.
Ball hit the dirt, then off of Correa's tip of his helmet, the bill. He's all right.
Right off the bill.
3-1. It's up. Lopez another walk. So he matches his 5-walk total from his last start. And out comes the skipper. He'll make the point. And the afternoon is done for Jacob Lopez. Astros lead 2-0 with the new pitcher coming aboard. A's Baseball is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. There's magic in the Redwoods. Travel over trestles through towering redwood groves to the summit of Bear Mountain. There's the Tower Bridge. Gorgeous day. Jacob Lopez is out of the game after walking Correa, his 5th walk of the game. Has 6 strikeouts though, is responsible for Correa on first. 2-0. Houston leads after the Yordan Alvarez sonic boom home run to right.
Well, it's a man who saw more game action than anybody out of the bullpen for the Athletics last year. Justin Sterner, team leading 59 appearances.
Correa is going. Throw down from Langeliers is late. He had a great jump.
Well, Correa basically a running start. And you can see where Jet McNeil is placed now, that foot in front of the bag.
It is important to note of Justin Sterner. He made the most appearances out of the bullpen for the A's, but he was down in AAA for a little bit.
He was.
Just goes to show when he was up with the big league team, they utilized his services a lot.
Well, he's got the ability to punch a ticket really when you need it. 70 strikeouts last year, 65 innings.
Skied to center. Butler loses his cap and makes the catch. A's to come up in the bottom of the fifth will be Muncy, McNeil, and Cortez against McCullers, who now has a lead to work with.
I think the last thing you want to have happen is Lance McCullers start to settle in, which feels like he may have started to do. That fourth inning, the beneficiary of that big double play.
Struck well into left field. Rounding third is Correa, and it's booted by Soderstrom. Smith pushing for second. The throw in is close, but it's in time. They got him. The run does come in to score, so an RBI for Smith. And Houston scores 3 runs in the fifth. 3-0 Astros.
Fans, are you looking for an easy way to get back to the ballpark? Well, look no further. You can grab $8 tickets to select A's games this April and May. Pick between 10 games and enjoy big league baseball right here in West Sac. Lock in your seats now and enjoy baseball for less at athletics.com/tickets.
Now I see you enjoying a tri-tip sandwich earlier in the game. Probably around $8, maybe a little more.
Give or take.
$8 to see Major League Baseball in West Sac. That is the deal of the league, I think. Muncy behind at 0-2. The Astros up 3-0 after 3 runs came in to score in the top of the fifth, including a 2-run home run by Yordan Alvarez, his 174th as a Houston Astros, 7th all-time on that list. So some support for McCullers, who's at pitch number 70 after this throw. That's outside. Well, it's Easter today, Dallas. I know you're about to, after the game, get on the jet and head to New York, but did you have any fun Easter celebration over the last few days? Ground ball up the middle and past Allen for a base hit.
Precisely what you need, especially after that extra run tacked on last half inning. Max Muncy in the lower third of this lineup, looking to see if they can't start a little party here. Muncy with a hard liner back up the middle. That'll bring up Jeff McNeil. And Chris, we had a good dinner last night with some family and friends. Got up this morning, watched Watch my daughters dominate an Easter egg hunt. Always fun. Always fun.
Which one reigns supreme in the hunt?
Well, the older one.
Well, there's two older ones. The oldest one?
The oldest one. But it was nice to see her share, believe it or not.
Must take after her mother.
Fair play. Yeah, little one, the youngest one, not too happy about it. I think maybe the Astros weren't too happy about this safe call here. They thought about it. You see Christian Walker. Maybe, Joe. Maybe take a look. Can't confirm it for you. Play will move on.
Correa is in. McNeil taking outside, 1-1.
Am I safe in assuming you're a Peeps fan? Speaking of Peeps, we'll take a peep inside that Astros bullpen. Stephen Oakland on the left, Mr. Bluebaugh on the right.
I'm a what fan?
Peeps.
What's that?
Oh my goodness. I mean, last year it was the It's It.
Oh my, not again, not this again.
And you became a handful of trouble at that time, and now here, now it's the Peeps. You have to. Can I interest you in a Cadbury egg?
Yes, I know what that is.
Oh, I bet you do. How do you not know what a Peeps is?
I don't know what to tell you. Called strike. McNeil immediately challenges.
Pitcher's called a strike. The hitter is challenging.
Well, Jeff McNeil felt pretty confident in this. We talked about how the leverage.
Called overturned. 3-1. Athletics have one challenge remaining.
And in a spot like this where you have a leadoff base runner, not a bad challenge from a veteran hitter in McNeil, and it goes by way of the Athletics. They retain their one challenge remaining.
And I mentioned that it might have been a situation with a runner in scoring position, but in this position, down by 3, you have an opportunity to turn this lineup over and bring the boppers up with some guys on base. Why not?
3-1. McNeil takes and draws a walk. So the ABS challenge pays off. 2 on, nobody out. Cortez coming up for a second time.
And that's got to feel really good for Jeff McNeil, the veteran. After kind of getting rung up on the obstruction call out at second base. We're going to have a little talk about it now. This meeting on the mound brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price.
While we're at it, Dallas, let's hear a word from Red Hawk Casino Resort.
It's game on at Red Hawk Resort Casino. So many ways to play, you'll stay all day. All your favorite table games and hundreds of the latest slots. Book a room and stay to play another day. Red Hawk Resort Casino, proud partner of Athletics Baseball.
Now, like a Red Hawk, hopefully one of these swings for Cortez can soar out of the ballpark and tie this game in 3 apiece. First and second, nobody out. Correa playing in. Maybe Cortez will show here. No, he will swing away and take a get-me-over breaking ball for a strike, 0-1.
Well,
Pitcher's called a challenging.
looks like we're going to take a look at the first pitch of the at-bat here. And that pitch.
Called overturned. Count is 1-0.
Really not close.
I'll tell you what, though, no count. It's a gutsy challenge.
Well, it is. You better be sure. And I think right now the Athletics fairly confident in their strike zone awareness. And I think what's going to be interesting watching this inning unfold specifically is fans, players. We watch a lot of baseball together, and there have been plenty of games where you thought, what if that call didn't go against us? What if that call would have went our way? How could things have unfolded differently?
1-1, up the first base side, fair and into the corner. Muncie's going to come around to score. Crosby stops McNeil at third, and an RBI double from Cortez.
like to thank Carlos Cortez for making me look like a genius here. This is how quickly things can change. What if this call would have went our way, Chris? Well, it did. And Carlos Cortez answers the bell. Tugs a double down the line, knocks Lance McCullers out of this ball game, closes the gap between the Astros and the Athletics are cooking here. They still trail by 2. The Astros going to the left-hander out of the bullpen. It'll be Steven Okert on now to take on Nick Kurtz. We'll be back on the flip side.
For 7, 4 against the Rangers and 3 against the White Sox. Lefty-lefty matchup here. The A's are on the board, and Kurtz takes outside 1-0 in a 3-1 game. Mind you, there's nobody out. Runners on second and third, and Steven Okert, who closed out last night's game, is making his second appearance this series. A place where he's made a lot of appearances in his career in AAA.
We mentioned it last night, a man who's seen the mound for the River Cats, now the Giants affiliate, more than anybody in Sacramento River Cat history. That's a line for Lance McCullers. 4 + 5 hits, 1 run. He is responsible for the couple fellas on base right now. And that line, by the time it's all said and done, could look a lot different. Nick Kurtz sitting pretty here against Steven Okert. 3-0 count. Green light him.
He'll take a strike, 3-1. Kurtz has a walk and a single. Had to work for that single, hit it hard beyond the glove side of Allen, who was playing up the middle back in the 3rd inning. Something tells me he's looking for more. But he won't get it. He'll walk and load up the bases for Langoliers. What you were saying was you hoped that McCullers didn't continue to settle in. What happens is, after 3 runs came in to score for the Astros in the top of the 5th, leadoff single, walk, then a double. He's bounced out of the game. First reliever out of the pen for Houston, walks Kurtz. Now the bases are loaded for Langoliers, who has come up big in many spots like this. And he's swinging on the first pitch.
Well, let's go back to the opening series. Nowhere to put old Langoliers at this time. And he put a charge into one dead central.
A walk, line down the 3rd baseline, foul.
Not by much. Not by much. Again, not a ton of space between that foul line and the stands. I mean, well foul when you look at it, but man, now he's got some work to do, Chris, down 0-2.
In the air to shallow right. In comes Smith, glasses gleaming. He will make the catch. McNeil will not advance as it's cut off by Walker. So not enough to score the 2nd run of the game for the A's. And with 1 away, it's Soderstrom now, who's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout.
Yeah, you could tell off the bat this ball was just not going to be quite deep enough. McNeil parked at 3rd base, just too close. Cam Smith, no problem getting that ball in time.
First pitch to deep center field. Myers going back at the wall. It drops. It's off the wall. McNeil scores. Here comes Cortez. Kurtz right behind him. The throw is late. A bases clearing triple for Soderstrom, and he has flipped this game upside down.
We watched the sun become a factor in yesterday's ball game. I got to believe a little more of that here this afternoon. Jake Meyers trying to track this ball off the bat as Tyler Soderstrom, who put a charge into it. It's a slider that Tyler Soderstrom barrels, gives it a ride, and you can see Meyers, decent jump on the baseball, but just could not see it all the way into the glove. You can see him fighting the sun, and you know who won that fight? 1-0 Sun. And you got to give credit again. You see the big fella Nick Kurtz just about at second base, and pick up third base coach Bobby Crosby, the emphatic windmill, waving the big fella all the way around from first base. Sodi headlong into third. How about a bases clearing triple for Tyler Soderstrom?
And for a player who grounded into a 6-3 double play in the first inning, effectively erasing the A's chances, and then striking out looking with a runner on third in the third inning, he gets his moment and comes up big for the A's in their 4-run fifth, with possibly more to come.
And again, the sun, something that you're going to have to fight off here at this ballpark. And Meyers just really nowhere near the baseball at the end of the day. Tracked it off the bat, but moving backwards, not able to see it into the glove. And Chris, let's go back to how the inning started. You got Max Muncy, who puts a great swing on a pitch, right back up the middle for a leadoff knock. Jeff McNeil, an early contestant of the pitch, puts himself in a better count. Carlos Cortez, same thing. He wins his challenge. Both of those fellas end up on base. Nick Kurtz works a walk. And then after the Langoliers fly out, Tyler Soderstrom hits one to center field that Meyers couldn't corral. Now with blue ball on the mound, it's going to be Brent Rooker with the runner on third base, less than 2 outs. Looking to create a little more gap between the A's and the Astros.
Blue ball went 3-1 with a 1.69 ERA in 11 games last year for Houston. Rooker gets it in the air. Smith on the run. By the track, still going. He leaps and makes the catch, colliding with the wall. Nearly goes over the wall. It'll do more than enough to bring home the 5th A's run on a sacrifice fly from Rooker. Now 5-3, green and gold.
Quality at bat from Brent Rooker. Able to drive this ball to right field. Cam Smith, a phenomenal job of tracking that baseball down. He's got to go full extension, able to stay on his feet. Almost ends up in the A's bullpen. But more than enough to bring Tyler Soderstrom home.
Wilson grounds it. And Correa with the backhand. What a play by the third baseman, but the throw gets away from Walker. Wilson's going to try and take second and get there.
Well, how about the read from Jacob Wilson? This play starts with Carlos Correa making a fantastic play. Going to his backhand side, pops up, just not quite enough on the baseball to get it all the way over to Walker on the fly. Jacob Wilson realizes Christian Walker is not going to get up in time. That ball squirts far enough away. Jay Willie says, you know what? I'm gone. I mean, that is just a fantastic read by Jacob Wilson.
So it's a hit for Wilson, then the E5. Butler will take a strike.
And this one almost snuck down the line. Save for Correa, making a great play, just not able to clean it up on the back end.
Butler's the 9th hitter to come up. And a big swing and miss on a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Lawrence was robbed of an extra base hit in the 4th inning by a nice diving, sliding play by Loperfido in the alley in left center. He ended up doubling up Wilson, who strayed too far between second and third, coming off of first. That ended the A's chances last inning. Now pickoff attempt. Allen wasn't there, or else they might have had a chance. The action has truly begun in the 5th inning. 3 runs for the Astros in the top of the 5th, 5 for the A's in response. Oh, 2 shortens up, fouls it away. Lubov, former 7th round pick by the Astros out of Wisconsin, Milwaukee in 2022. Good eye by Lawrence on the changeup.
You just feel like Lawrence Butler is ready to cap this rally off here with a big swing.
One, 2. He won't time up the 97-mile-per-hour fastball. But the A's score 5 runs and lead 5-3. Extended highlight and press conference videos and tons of YouTube shorts, all on the NBCS Authentic YouTube channel. Subscribe now.
It's a nice White House.
It's a good looking one. Soderstrom jersey not so white today after his bases clearing triple in the bottom of the 5th that gave the A's their lead. One more run came in to score in the 5-run bottom of the 5th. The A's lead 5-3 on Easter Sunday.
You know, I think there needs to be a lot of credit given to Mark Kotsay at this time. We talked about how many times we saw Justin Sterner in the ball game last year.
Ground ball to short. Wilson gobbles it up. Goes to first.
We'll get to that in a minute. Right now I want to tell you about MLB Plus. It's new for 2026. Stream MLB Network 24/7 and select out-of-market games every week. Plus live radio broadcast of every single ball game, game day 3D, big inning, and minor league action. You can visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today.
Jake Myers is up, and he fists one to right for a base hit.
Mark Kotsay had a decision to make back in that 5th inning after the Alvarez homer, then the walk to Correa. Correa ends up stealing second base eventually, but Justin Sterner came in, was able to get a couple outs. I'm sure that 3rd run came across, but Sterner, a guy that you've seen in plenty of high leverage situations. And when you're looking to stop the bleeding and you have the chance to go to a guy like Justin Sterner that you have the confidence in, that's a decision to make if you're Mark Kotsay. Do I wait that out? Do I try to see if there's another arm that I can go to in this moment and hope the offense can do what we just saw unfold and swing their way back into this ball game? Or do I need to make the decision right now to keep the game where it's at? Because I have the belief that our offense is eventually going to be able to put together enough at bats. We're going to scratch a few across. We're going to make it interesting, but we don't want to lose out on the chance to keep the game close as it is right now.
0-2 to Loperfido, fouls it away. And you touched on this before, but this is the first game that I have seen in the young season for the A's where ABS has had a very true impact on the game.
Oh yeah, a very real impact.
That McNeil challenge and Cortez as well.
I mean, look, and that's the thing, is it's back-to-back at bats, Chris, and it's at the bottom of the lineup. I said it right after Max Muncy got his hit. You hope that the bottom of this lineup is going to be able to turn things over so that you can let those big boys at the top start to do what they do, and they delivered. Kurtz worked the walk with a great eye. Soderstrom delivered the triple to center, and all of that, as Langelier is able to get back and snare this, all of that brought to you by a couple of challenges by the veteran McNeil and the rookie Cortez.
1-2 to Loperfido. Fouls it off. You talk about count leverage, getting ahead in the count, how important it is for a hitter. Loperfido's going to have to wear another one of these.
Well, that's why we got the shooting guard. That one catches about 8% of that baseball.
McNeil draws the walk, and then the curveball that you thought was initially a strike was up. And now Cortez has a little bit more freedom to swing, I would think. And what does he do? Opens up the A's scoring afternoon. The double grounded past the first base side and into the corner. 1-2, Loperfido lines it foul.
See, I need to save that shot.
On strike three, a challenge from Loperfido. Astros have one remaining.
Pitches on strike. The hitter is challenging.
ABS powered by T-Mobile, and it is a strike.
Call confirmed. Houston has no challenges remaining.
Astros are out of challenges. 2 away.
And Loperfido is out of luck.
Allen 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout swinging. He shows bunt, pulls back. He did not go.
Well, with Max Muncy back, Nick Allen thinking about taking advantage. Nick Allen just gave another quick peek down towards third base. Muncy will give another step.
Now Langeliers is going to challenge. It's a challenge fest in the middle part of this game.
The ball. The catcher is challenging.
I think you said it might be down. Said hopefully it's a strike.
Oh.
So both teams
Call confirmed. Athletics have no challenges remaining.
out of challenges.
Well, Chris, you know what that means. Unless this game should find its way into extra innings, we're just going to be playing good old-fashioned human element baseball from here on out.
Away, 3 balls and no strikes. There is activity in the bullpen for the A's. Starter at 21 pitches. And it's JT starting to warm. Starter missed in. Now first and second. And out of the dugout comes Mark Kotsay. With Altuve looming on deck, he will employ a new reliever. The A's up 2.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Athletics.
That was on this date in 2013. In his season debut against the Astros, Dan Straley tied the Oakland rookie record with 11 strikeouts. He was the 6th and last A's rookie since 1968 with an 11 strikeout game. JT Ginn in the game now. 2 away, but 2 on for the Astros. And Jose Altuve is looming, where the A's lead 5-3.
We saw JT Ginn game 1. Came on in the 8th inning. He'd finish off the ball game. A day off yesterday. Let's see if JT Ginn ready to get right back at it, and I believe he is. And Chris, in this situation, JT Ginn, a guy who can get a strikeout if you need it, but I think at this point in time right now, you're just looking for weak contact, a ground ball if you need to muster one up. You'll take a punch out, a pop out, a ground. Look, you'll take an out. And I think JT Ginn poised to get one.
First pitch works in on Altuve. 1 ball and no strikes. Reminder, no ABS challenges left for either team. Good old-fashioned baseball. Turned on foul. You go soft away with Altuve here.
Well, look, I think JT Ginn's got one of the weapons in that sinker that you can utilize down and in. Look for him to do just that, either swing right over top of it or beat it into the ground. And now, if you're JT Ginn, you've got a couple different options. You can continue to chase Altuve down and in there if you'd like. I know JT Ginn has been hard at work at utilizing that four-seam fastball, maybe a little cut action up top as well to give him a different look. And you see that thing just dive bomb, Chris, which is why you understand if JT Ginn would choose to live and die with that sinker, because it's a weapon. But he's also, when it's on, that tidy little slider, catch a hitter out front who's looking to have to cover the inside part of the plate to get to that sinker.
2-2. Ground foul. It's a big spot in the game.
Oh, it is. It is. You don't want to have to extend the inning, and for JT Ginn, the quicker you can get out of here, I think the better your chances are to get a little deeper into this ball game. I think that's what Mark Kotsay would like to see. A couple innings worth of work from the right-hander.
2-2 stretch pitch. Altuve pops it up. Langoliers looking for it. Does he have room? He caught it.
What a snag by the backstop. Right near the backstop. Joe Espada thinking about taking a look at this, wondering if there was any netting involved. That's not going to be the case. That is a heck of a play by Shane Langoliers. Having a feel for where you're at in space. Wonderful effort.
Tarcam, and this guy is shredding hard. Hair blowing in the wind.
Oh, he is in tune.
It's Muncy up again, taking outside 1-0. He led off the 5-run fifth, where all 9 hitters came up. He had a leadoff single, later scored the first of those 5 runs. 1-0 pitch to left field. Caught by Loferfito.
Well, time now for your Ford Play of the Day, presented by your California Ford dealers. I don't like it. Let's take a look at it. And guess who was right? The veteran. And he was not the only one. Nope, take a look. Take a look. I don't believe you. That's not a strike. I told you. Ball 2. And we know what followed, Chris. A couple base runners later, Tyler Soderstrom popped that bases clearing triple, and the score was flipped upside down. A's took the lead.
McNeil swings on one and flies it out of play, foul. But if it wasn't for the efforts of the bottom of the order to feed the top, I don't think we'd be having a 5-3 scoreline right now.
And that's why I stress the importance of those guys. I mean, I firmly believe that the lower third of any lineup just as important as what I call the meat and potatoes.
Another chance for Loperfido. He's got it.
You know, you want a Michelin star, you got to have good ingredients, you got to have great service, presentation matters, all of the above. And when you're looking at a lineup as the entree, sure, it's easy to go right to the middle, right? Give me 2, give me 3, give me 4, give me 3, 4, 5. But let's not forget the accoutrements, my man. I mean, 7, 8, 9, they matter.
Cortez opened up the scoring for the A's with an RBI double. He takes low, 1 ball and no strikes. Accoutrement, huh?
Didn't know I spoke French.
You're preparing for New York is what you're doing. Ball and a strike. Two and one. Again, even when you see the catcher throw it back, and Diaz, he's thinking about challenging, but nobody has any challenges left. 3-1 to Cortez. That means Nick Lentz has more control over this game.
He's the captain now.
3-1 outside. Cortez draws a walk. I mean, this guy has come off the bench. He's made starts. Again, another impactful performance offensively for Carlos as the 4th outfielder of this club.
And that's exactly what the conversation entailed this spring, you got to believe, is do we have somebody that we're confident in from a depth perspective, but do we feel like we're going to miss much of a beat when it comes to the quality of at bat? And the answer to the first question is yes, we like who Carlos Cortez is when it comes to the depth conversation. We also are fairly confident in what he's bringing to the table when it comes to the at bats, and you saw that twice this afternoon.
There's a miss from Kurtz, 0-2. He's had a much better day at the plate. 2 walks, a single, run scored, stolen base, has been patient. Even though it's a slower start for his standards, he's still putting up productive at-bats, professional at-bats, the leadoff man for the A's. He is, however, behind at 0-2 here in the 6th. 0-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Blue ball from the stretch. The 0-2 pitch will have to wait. Another word I would use about this offense, especially in the 5th inning, unselfish. At any point, a guy could have said, I want to pull the trigger and I want to have the moment, but they stayed patient against McCullers and company. 0-2 is a touch outside. One and two. Now even. The Astros travel to play the Colorado Rockies after this. Is head all the way back to the East Coast to play the Yankees and then the Mets. Two to Kurtz, driven to right field. Smith going back, and it will one hop over the wall. An automatic double. You're starting to see the power come together for Kurtz slowly but surely. An automatic double now, 2nd and 3rd, and Langoliers comes up.
And sometimes, Chris, it's not even about finding a barrel that can give you confidence. I think we saw that yesterday with Nick Kurtz, who was able to squirt one out into the outfield. You could almost see the relief lifted from the big fella. The power is there. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's just a matter of him settling in and getting comfortable. And once that starts to happen, look out. That's a freight train headed downhill.
Langoliers swings on the first pitch, is underneath it. Allen going back. Loperfido coming in, and Nick Allen calls off the left fielder to make the catch. The A's come up empty-handed in the 6th, but they lead by 2, motoring into the 7th. The Texas Rangers come to town for a weekday series. Don't miss this wild, wild AL West showdown where every pitch is a duel and every swing brings the heat. Round up your crew and catch the action live. Get your tickets at athletics.com/tickets.
He's taking all the ad reads now?
It's my show. You're just living in it. Actually, we're really living in their show. Love to be on the berm right now. A's lead 5-3. Yordan Alvarez is up against JT Ginn. Got out of the 6th inning, a little bit of traffic, came into the game against Altuve and a pop out with a nice catch by Langeliers right by the screening. Ended the inning in exciting fashion.
Well, that was a big inning, no doubt. For me, not a momentum shifter, a momentum grabber. You go get the momentum if you're JT Ginn in that moment. You get out of trouble. And now here you have an opportunity to continue to ball up that momentum. So for me, this is the big inning here. I'll take you back to how it ended. Langeliers tracking it, going to ditch the mask at the very end and make a play right up against the screen. JT Ginn fired up. The last thing you wanted to have to do was face Yordan Alvarez with guys on base. Now you get to lead the inning off, and if you can take care of business here, it feels like there's a little room to breathe.
2-2 to Alvarez, who has a 2-run home run on this game. It's just low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Getting from the stretch, 3-2 pitch. And he got it. Sunk it back over the middle and strikes out Alvarez. What a way to start the 7th.
Hey, Mr. Alvarez. Can I help you? No thanks. Just looking. Fuego! I mean, that is a dotted back whip sinker. You front hip a guy like Yordan Alvarez like that and lock him up, that tells you that not only do you have the velocity to beat him to a spot, but you have the deception via the movement as well.
Back towards us, just above your reach.
Oh, don't let it happen here at home, young fella.
Your head would get so big, everybody in the 916 area code might get crushed. Line drive and then left to base hit. So a 1-out single for Correa brings up Christian Walker.
Well, Correa down on strikes the first 2 at-bats of his ball game. This ball takes a big hop on Sodi.
Had a few times in this series where the ball's been bobbled for a second. He's had a slippage out there.
We've seen some, as I just mentioned, we've seen some awkward bounces. I think there was surface was probably a little more moist than maybe expected, where he ended up losing his footing for just a brief second.
That doesn't go. To left, Soderstrom going back, still going, and this game is tied. the score.
There's guys that can hurt you all up and down this lineup, Chris, and Christian Walker definitely one of them. Just catches a pitch that really does more spinning in the middle of the strike zone than anything. Unfortunately, it's a tie ball game now. See, it's a breaking ball that just kind of stays arm side, backs up, and Christian Walker opens up. He hit it well.
Let's go Astros!
Smith has an RBI single and a walk today. He's 1 for 2. He's behind at 0-2 now. Hayes to come up in the bottom of the 7th. Soderstrom, Rooker, and Wilson, just the crew you'd want in this situation. Hopefully at a 5-5 scoreline. So Long Club gets a souvenir as Scott Barlow is warming up in the bullpen. Oh, 2 slider. Not to the liking of Nick Lentz. Close, very close.
You can see Shea Langoliers trying to give Nick Lentz a good look at it. Shea will call time and pop up out of the squat. Let's make sure that we're on the same page here. You got count leverage against Cam Smith. Ball game was just tied. We're going to meet. And this meeting on the mound is brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. You look 1-2. You just want to make sure that you're both in the right headspace. You got an idea of not only how you want to try to get rid of Cam Smith here, but should the at-bat go longer, you're just emphasizing if you're Shea Langoliers, hey, let's make our pitch, let's be close. If we don't get the result on this one, we've been competitive, and that'll give us an alternate route to take.
1-2 from Ginn. Ground ball to the shortstop Wilson on a couple of hops. 2 down. As Ginn earned himself another out after the ground ball to Wilson. It seems so. And Air Diaz 0 for 3 with 2 flyouts and a ground out. Called strike. Might have been a favorable strike zone for the A's pitcher Ginn there. One ball and 1 strike. Caught a piece of either Langoliers or Lentz behind the plate.
I think it might have been the latter. See Nick just kind of chicken winging it. Sounded fleshy. Right off the shoulder pad.
1-2. Weekly tap back to the pitcher. Ginn gathers, goes to first, and that'll end the top of the 7th. But Christian Walker hits a 2-run home run and ties the game at 5 apiece.
Xfinity and the X Factor in that 5th inning. You thought it might have been a couple of challenges that went the Athletics' way. Well, I think it's Tyler Soderstrom. Stepped up with the bags juiced. And he laced a triple off the center field wall. All 3 runners would come around and score, and for a moment give the Athletics the lead. They now find themselves all knotted up at 5s here in the bottom of the 7th. And it'll be Tyler Soderstrom, Brent Rooker, and Jacob Wilson here against Bluebaugh. We'll see just how long Bluebaugh is going to go here for Joe Espada and the Astros. Looks like they have a little action out there in their bullpen. Mr. King starting to work now, the left-hander.
Soderstrom, the only hitter to have yet to see Bluebaugh in this game. Brian King warms up, as you mentioned. Healthy cut on a changeup, 1-1. One pitch is down low, 2 balls and a strike. Soderstrom, Rooker, and Wilson this inning. Hopefully a few more. 2-1. Checks the swing. Did he go? He did not. 3 balls and a strike to Tyler.
Take a peek from the side. Sody says, not right now.
3-1 pitch. It's a called strike. Soderstrom didn't like it.
Well, that's a pretty good pitcher's pitch there from Bluebaugh. Pitch that may have been able to go either way. Goes a strike this time.
3-2. Just had to wait one more pitch to draw his leadoff walk. Dallas, the A's have had 3 leadoff base runners in this game. Kurtz led off the first with a walk, and Muncy had a leadoff single in the 5th where they scored 5 runs.
Let's see if you...
7th, they have a leadoff runner for Rooker.
Excuse me, Chris. See if they can't just keep that theme going back from the 5th inning.
Pitch out. Rooker had a sacrifice fly that now is a very important swing in this game at 5-5.
Yeah, he put a good swing on a slider. Cam Smith made a nice play out there in right, chasing it down.
Another A's hitter getting ahead on Bluebaugh. Right side open as Soderstrom takes a lead off of first. 2-0 pitch. Rooker drives it to left. Loper Fido on the run. It is gone. It is gone. Rooker homers for the first time this year, and the A's take their lead right back.
And Brent Rooker, in style, logs home run number 100 in the green and gold.
Amazing milestone for such a special player. The heart and soul of this club comes up big in the 7th and turns it over to Wilson.
Chris, we were talking about Michelin stars, ingredients, menus, pleasing the palate, and what it meant to have leadoff base runners. You put all that together, feels like that's a pretty good recipe for success.
You know, it feels good to get that one if you're Rooker. Grounded to the second baseman, Altuve. That was a missile.
Well, it sure was. 96-mile-an-hour two-seamer chasing Brent Rooker inside. Looks like it's a four-seamer. Just a lot of arm side life. Checkmate via Rook. And if you're hungry, all you got to do is let Rook cook, and he's cooking.
Butler now swinging on the first pitch. Just over the left field wall.
Yeah, Loperfido felt like he might have had a beat on this. At least in a position to play it off the wall, but not so fast.
In between on that swing for Lawrence, 0-2. Lawrence is 0 for 3 today. 2 strikeouts, had a hard line out. Nice play by Loperfido, or else he'd have a hit on his stat sheet. In the alley, left center, that ball's gonna get down. Butler's gonna push for second. The throw is up the line, and Butler dives in safely. He wanted his double, and he got it.
Well, that is the second outstanding swing we've seen from Lawrence Butler, driving the baseball to the opposite field. It was a cutter last time, and this time it's another four-seam fastball from blue ball. Ball's down in front of Loperfido, but Lawrence Butler has 2 on the brain out of the box, and the Law Dog would not be denied. Helmet loose, so is Butler into second.
So here's Max Muncy. Put the ball play 3 times, does have a single and a run scored. Just 1 out. Most the A's have led by in this game are 2 runs. Can they scratch off a 3rd leading run here in the 7th? Breaking ball outside.
Well, and you weren't sure if Joe Espada was going to go with King to try to take care of business against Butler after Blubaugh was able to get Wilson to ground out. Instead, they leave Blubaugh in to face Lawrence Butler. He drives a double the opposite way. Blubaugh remains in the game now, squaring off against Max Muncy.
1-1 pitch, out of play, foul. That 5th inning single extended or started a 3-game hitting streak for Max Muncy. He has a hit in every single game but 2 that he's played in to start the season. 1-2, line drive off the glove of Allen and into left. Didn't know if it was going to sneak past the shortstop. It did, and Muncy has another multi-hit effort.
Well, this ball looks like it may have even tipped off the glove of Nick Allen. Changeup that stays middle. Max Muncy, great swing on it. See Nick Allen just off the tip of his glove. Law Dog was headed back to second. Bobby Crosby will hold up Butler at 3rd. Runners on the corners for the Athletics. That's going to be it for Blubaugh. Joe Espada has made a move to the pin. We'll be back.
The A's lead 7-5. Have a good chance to try and plate some more with runners on the corners and just 1 out. Joe Espada has gone to the bullpen again. It's Christian Roa on the mound. I don't think anybody's more jacked up than him.
Yeah, it looks like he got to eat everything he found in those Easter eggs this morning.
Roa was brought back up today.
Well, unfortunately for the Astros, their big gun, Hunter Brown, hit the IL with some shoulder issues.
Never previously been on the IL in his career. Flew back to Houston to get an opinion from team doctors. Roa came up, the Houston native.
Couple of games under the belt for Roa this season. Right now in a tight spot Runners in first and third. Jeff McNeil, a good contact hitter at the dish.
1-1, gets it in the air to left, but out of play, foul. So some strain in the shoulder of Hunter Brown. Don't know how long he will be out for. It's always a tricky part of the body to really know how long somebody can be out.
Well, you've heard me refer to the shoulder as the party starter. And it's, simply put, you just can't throw a baseball when that shoulder's barking to the extent it sounds like it is. The elbow, you might be able to get the shoulder moving, but then you feel it at release, but you can't even get that arm up. And you've got some issues in that shoulder joint. So just from human to human and an individual who's dealt with those things, I wish Hunter Brown nothing but the best. He's a great dude. But no doubt that the Astros will miss him for whatever amount of time he's on the shelf.
2-2. Would have been a strikeout, but McNeil gets a piece and it lands outside of Diaz's glove.
Got just enough of it. Diaz not able to glove it cleanly.
Infield is in a bit. Butler at third, Muncy at first. 7-5 the score. 2-2 to McNeil. Grounded foul. Past Ryan Christensen, first base coach of the Athletics. Well, the first two games, a lopsided victory for the A's in their home opener, then 11-0 for the Astros. Now you got a classic here in the finale.
Yeah, a little seesaw battle here.
2-2 again. McNeil in the air, shallow center field. It's dropping fast. It gets down. Butler's going to score. And Jeff McNeil has his first RBI as an Athletic. 8-5.
You put it in play, good things will happen. Nick Allen was, I think, caught in between making a decision on how he was going to try to field this ball. Was it going to be an over-the-shoulder basket catch? He decides to turn the glove over, go backhand. And that ball, again, just off the tip of the glove of Nick Allen. You see Lawrence Butler retreating. And as soon as that ball finds grass, Bobby Crosby's encouragement gets Law Dog going. And the A's are able to tack on another. And what you love about this, Chris, is it's Jeff McNeil and now Carlos Cortez, both guys who have already put together pretty important at-bats back-to-back once. We'll take another peek here for the second time in the same inning. Nick Allen just can't quite get enough leather on it.
0-2 pitch, shortens up, drives it into right at base hit. Crosby's giving Muncy the windmill home. The throw is late. And Cortez comes up again. 9-5. The Athletics lead now. Everything going right for the offense.
Just cannot say enough about the at-bats delivered here in the 8th and 9th spots today for the Athletics. Jeff McNeil and Carlos Cortez have stepped up multiple times. McNeil with the bleeder over the shortstop's head. Cortez serves it into right. And a great read by third base coach Bobby Crosby, understanding who his athletes are. Max Muncy, plenty of speed, able to challenge the throw in from Cam Smith. And with with Carlos Cortez delivering the knock, it'll be Denzel Clark now on to pinch run.
Here's Kurtz. Muncy was motoring around the bases.
Well, he sure was. He had to check up and make sure the dump ball was going to find grass, and once it did, Bobby Crosby sent him on his way.
Kurtz is 2 for 2 today with a pair of walks and a run scored. Has an automatic double in this game and starting to hit against the Astros again as Rodri Munoz warms up in the bullpen. Another big swing. Kurtz expands his zone.
I think a lot of people felt like this could be a get-right series for Nick Kurtz. Just remembering the damage done against these Astros in his rookie campaign.
Missed. And in some ways, Dallas, pitch identification has been something that Kurtz has done well in this series. 4 walks, a run scored, a stolen base, 3 hits, including a double. May not be exactly what you're used to seeing with Kurtz and the Astros, but it's a positive to draw from. And he's on it.
We're used to just seeing baseball sail into the night sky.
Good take. Really good take. Allen almost on top of the second base bag. It's short. 3-2. It's down, and Kurtz draws another walk. His 3rd of the game. The bases are loaded for Langoliers. And this might conjure a conversation from Joshua Miller. Dallas' 2nd inning in this game offensively, where the A's have brought 9 hitters to the plate. This is the offense that many fans, Marcotte, the players believe they can be game in and game out. Can beat you in a number of ways, not just with the big swing, but their patience and discipline at the plate.
Well, this is why this lineup at times can feel relentless, because of the power and the patience that they possess. It's a matter of putting it all together. And these are the kind of innings that you see, the one we saw in the 5th, the one that's unfolding in front of us right now here in the 7th, that you start to come to expect out of this club.
And still just 1 out. Roa to the plate. A big swing by Langoliers. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Well, you've got a little bit of a cushion right now, but you still got a chance to open this thing wide open.
Shea has run into a grand slam or 2 in his career. Had 1 in Toronto early this season. Had a big one last year against the Tigers and Tarek Skubal here at home. He's had 1 in Minnesota 2 years ago. Ground ball, foul. Astros don't have a day off tomorrow. That's another thing to consider. The A's can be a little bit greedier with their bullpen today, considering the day off tomorrow. 1-2. Swing foul up the first base side.
99 from Roa.
One-two pitch. Spoils it. 1-2, another foul ball. Langeliers is fighting.
Well, been a battle. Four sliders, a couple of sinkers mixed in.
1-2, breaking ball in the air to right. Shallow right. Glasses gleaming. Smith makes the catch. McNeil will not tag.
Chris, look who it is, the man who started the action here in the 7th inning. It was Soderstrom who led the inning off with a walk.
Up and out. 1-0. You got nowhere to put him. You have to contend with Rooker, who gave the A's a 7-5 lead with a 2-run home run earlier this inning. 2 balls and no strikes.
Not an ideal spot here if you're Roa.
Underneath it. Loperfido in left has it, and that'll retire the side. But the A's score 4 runs, taking the lead thanks to Brent Rooker. 100th homer as an Athletic, and his first of the year. It's 9-5. Well, Dallas is still throwing out balls. How'd my form look?
I've seen better.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to get you on an off-season program.
Yeah.
Maybe a throwing partner?
Yeah.
You should do some throwing, partner.
Yeah. All right, 9-5 the score. A's lead. It's Scott Barlow on the mound. Jake Myers at the plate, fouling it away.
Well, we've got some help out in the outfield. Denzel Clark is now patrolling center field. That means the Law Dog will slide over to right.
Carlos Cortez, a job well done today. Ended up 2 for 3. An RBI double, an RBI single, a run scored, a walk. Myers crushes this to left. It is gone. 9-6.
That just kind of stays up. There's some arm side life to it, Chris, but Myers so quick on the inside part of the strike zone. So it takes special hands to be able to get to a pitch that's chasing you in like that and get the barrel to it. Put that kind of a swing on it.
Loperfido's made a few good defensive plays today. He's 0 for 3, however, offensively. Barlow misses a spot. 2-0. This is Barlow's home debut at the ballpark in West Sacramento. This is inside. 3-0. walk. So a homer and then a walk. Nick Allen is coming up.
Nick Allen, a man who a couple times was, I mean, maybe a half inch or so away from making a couple big plays, snagging a couple balls out of the air. That wasn't the case. A's were able to post 4. Scott Emerson now coming out quickly after the 1-0 start to this at bat.
A homer and then 5 straight misses. A's are up by 3 runs, but the guys coming up, Altuve, Alvarez, and Correa, can change that score very quickly. The A's are unable to locate. DB, it is a point of conversation to talk about. You know, they walked 13 hitters yesterday. They've walked 7 today. That's in. 2-0. Oh. 7 misses in a row for Barlow after the home run. And Leiter Jr. immediately warming up in the bullpen.
There you go. And I was going to say, this is a guy here in Nick Allen. You know, you're not terribly concerned with him hurting you in terms of a big swing. I mean, he swung the bat well, hit the ball hard.
Oh, and he missed again. Mark Hanse talked about this yesterday of Luis Medina. Medina gave up a home run, looked like he commanded the inning in the 8th, and then walked back-to-back hitters.
Well, and I'll say this for Medina's sake. Understanding what it's taken for him to get back on the mound and just trying to continue to get a feel for how his stuff's going to play and just physically how he feels. I think there's some bright spots to take away from the outing for Medina. It's now 9 balls in a row. But I can understand what Mark Kotsay was saying. You don't want to see guys get chased out of the strike zone after the opposition puts a good swing on a pitch.
Ten straight misses.
There's 14 total pitches, just a couple strikes. Just don't want to see Altuve cheat to something in.
There's the strike. That down the left field line. That's going to get fair and off the wall. Loperfido scores. Soderstrom to it quickly. Allen to third. Into second, Altuve. And it's a 2-run game with Alvarez coming up.
Well, and this is what Altuve does so well. Whether it's a fastball chasing him in or a breaking ball, you can see he keeps his hands back enough. He's able to whip the barrel through the strike zone. Sodi does a fantastic job of playing a difficult carom. I mean, this ball right off the angle of that wall that just has a little bit of a tilt to it. Able to get it back in. If there's even a slight misplay on that carom, Chris, we've got a 9-8 ball game. Mark Kotsay with a slow walk out to the mound. That's going to be it for Scott Barlow, who unfortunately just not able to pin down the strike zone It's resulted in a run across. 2 runs across, excuse me, and a couple base runners. A's still lead by 2. We'll be back after this. Toyota, let's go places.
Now you see the score and you see the situation. 9-7. 2 in scoring position, nobody out. The heart of the order coming up. It's Alvarez up against Mark Leiter Jr. after Barlow, like you said, couldn't pin down the strike zone after a Jake Myers solo home run. That made it 9-6. Now it's 9-7, and trouble is a-brewing.
Well, it sure is. It's Mark Leiter Jr. on the mound now. This will be the 4th appearance for the right-hander, and he's got his hands full. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. Nobody out. Altuve just double to left. That'll bring up Yordan Alvarez, who's already done damage his own this afternoon. A 2-run homer back in the 5th inning.
One for 3 today. Allen at 3rd, Altuve at 2nd. And the first pitch is low, 1-0. Eight walks today for A's pitching after a 13-walk performance yesterday. 21 over the last 2 games.
You know, and Chris, it's one thing to be careful with Yordan Alvarez, understanding that sure there is a base open, but the problem is there's nobody out. I mean, with 1 out, you feel like, hey, we're just 1 pitch away from an inning-ending double play. Should Yordan, for whatever reason, find his way on base, but it's a little bit of a steeper hill to climb right now. Yordan, as I mentioned, jumped all over a Jacob Lopez delivery earlier this ball game.
That almost hit him.
Yordan Alvarez has been an absolute green and gold menace.
Well, that's a season's worth of numbers for most really good players in the league for 70 games.
Well, the 22 long balls, more against any opponent. I mean, that's damage.
Three and 2 from Leiter Jr. Correa is on deck. 3-2 pitch fouled away. And again, Correa is on that grass.
Yeah, Correa technically on deck. Correa may be closer to the right-hand batter's box than he is the on-deck circle.
Is there anything anybody can say about that?
Sure, it's already been done once.
Seems like they're just giving him, like you said, free peeks here. 3 and 2. Alvarez lifts it to left. Soderstrom on the run by the line. It is just foul.
Well, you can see it tailing off the bat of Alvarez. Knowing that it started out closer to the line, you felt like it was going to do what it did and just continue to drift. Thank goodness. He'll get another crack at it.
3-2. It missed outside. Leiter walked him.
See Leiter asking, was that away? Wins confirms.
The Astros, with one swing of the bat, could end up leading by 2. Still nobody out. And a pitch that misses. You know, for all the offense has done in this game, 9 runs at home should be enough. And it's been tough sledding over the last 2 games for the pitching staff locating the strike zone.
Well, look, I'm not going to blame what we've seen unfold on the ballpark. But I think if there was a ballpark that you could say this about, it would be this one, where enough is probably never enough. I don't know that enough exists. But when you start handing the opposition opportunities, you make it even easier for them.
2-1, a swing and a fly ball to right. Butler coming in, he makes the catch, loses his cap, throws to the plate. Allen will not advance. Good break for the A's and a good jump on the ball for Butler, who started the game in center, now moves over to right and takes a great angle.
Outside of a 1-2-3 double play here, this is probably as good as it gets if you're going to have a ball in play without a double play, and that's a soft liner to the outfield where the runner's unable to tag. Lawrence Butler does a nice job of closing, and albeit a throw up the line, a strong throw in nonetheless. And that keeps the runner at third base. Nick Allen unable to tag up.
Walker tied the game last inning, a 2-run home run to make it 5-5. He'll take strike 1. Has 2 homers this series. And Leiter does get that first out under his belt.
Well, not only the first out under his belt, he's ahead now of Christian Walker. Love to see Leiter just continue to attack. This is the blow delivered by Walker back in the 7th.
Pitch stays soft away, 2-1, and now Walker is ahead. Popped up on the infield. Who's going to get it? Kurtz calling off Langoliers, and the first baseman has it. 2 away.
I tell you right now, Mark Leiter looks about as cool and as calm in about as tight of a situation as you could imagine coming into. Bases loaded, nobody out. You're just trying to get an out and go from there. And right now, he's just 1 out away from getting out of a very, very dangerous situation.
It's Cam Smith, 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Looping curveball doesn't go. And because there are no ABS challenges remaining, you have to trust the zone of Nick Lentz. One-0 pitch. That's a strike on a slider, 1-1. An Astro on every base. A's up 9-7. 1-1 pitch. Pulled his fastball outside. 2-1. It's Allen at third. At second, Altuve. And at first, Alvarez. Cam Smith at the plate. It's high, 3-1. Nowhere to put Smith. Have to fire a strike here. Wonder if Smith's in swing mode here. 3-1 pitch. He is, and he flies it to left center. It'll drop front of Clark. 2 runs are going to score, and the game is tied at 9-9. Wow.
Just kind of a wrap off the bat of Cam Smith. Fastball that Don't know that he necessarily barreled. This ball settles up in front of Denzel Clark, but with 2 outs, Astros on the move at contact. And we've got a brand new ball game.
9th hitter to come up this inning. Leiter steps off. Disengagement number 1.
And Chris, I hate to go back to the point of how calls that don't go your way can make a difference. We saw it unfold in the favor of the Athletics, who challenged a couple pitches earlier in the ball game that opened up the scoring for the Athletics. I gotta believe the first pitch to that at bat there to Smith, should it go Mark Leiter Jr.'s way, may have a different story.
And Air Diaz is 0 for 4, 2 flyouts, 2 groundouts. Breaking ball fouled away. So Leiter ahead here. Task at hand, keep the ball game at a tie, as Brian King may be the reliever of choice in the bottom of the 8th for Joe Espada. One-two pitch, way up. Two balls and 2 strikes. Leiter's pitch. Offensive swing, grounded to the first baseman Kurtz. He gives ground, will take it himself, and that'll retire the side. But Houston scores 4 runs, and the game's tied at 9 apiece. Nine to 9. 4-run inning for the A's in the bottom of the 7th. You thought maybe at 9-5 they would close it out. Well, the Astros had other plans. 4 runs in the 8th. Homers from Alvarez, Walker, Myers. Rooker has been excellent. He's going to lead off this half inning. McCullers and Lopez both surrendered 3 earned runs, but it has been both bullpens that have been embattled in this game. It's Rooker against a lefty reliever. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. It's Brian King, his 5th appearance this season. 1 walk to 7 strikeouts. Pitch up, 1-1.
Well, let's go back to the 7th. Brent Rooker stepped up and delivered. It was homer number 1 of the season. It was homer number 100 for Brent Rooker in an A's uniform. You wouldn't mind some more heroics now, or at least an at-bat that got the party started. The Athletics had a nice sizable lead at one time.
High in the sky to center. Myers fights the sun and makes the catch. Offense has 9 runs off of 13 hits for the A's, 9 runs off of 10 hits for the Astros. Astros have walked 7 hitters. The A's have walked 8. Wilson 2 for 4 today. Swings on the first pitch, bounces it over to Walker. Takes it himself. 2 are away. If you're Houston, what you need is a quick shutdown inning. The way the offense of the A's performed over the last 3 innings or so. Last time Houston had a 1-2-3 inning. Technically it was the 4th, but Wilson did have a hit. Butler swings on the first pitch. And a 6-pitch bottom of the 8th ends the A's offensive chances in the bottom of the 8th inning. 9-9. We got inning number 9.
Cast Live, your go-to daily sports talk show hosted by Chris Townsend and our man, Commander Cody. Streaming live 24 hours before every weekday evening ball game on the A's YouTube channel at youtube.com/athletics and on A's Cast, X at AthleticsCast24. Is that? That's not Townie. That's Stomper. Close relation? Have you ever seen Townie and Stomper in the same room at the same time?
Not in a few years, I haven't. They have the same level of energy regardless of, well, that'll have to wait. Ground ball to second, one away. Hogan Harris is in the game, by the way. 9-9 the score.
Well, there are the numbers for the left-hander Hogan Harris. 6th appearance already this season for the southpaw. I think for Hogan, we start to talk about guys that have a combination of strike throwing capability and velocity. See the fastball at 96. This is a guy that I think will continue to, garner some looks in late leverage situations. Goes without saying, you're going to have to be able to win those left-on-left matchups with consistency. Something I know he's focused on.
Looping curve, misses. 2-1. No challenges remain for either team. If the game finds itself in extra innings, each team would earn another challenge.
That's right.
Two pitch. Matthews strikes out. Fastball there for Hogan. 96 miles an hour. Blew it right by him.
Well, and this is what you love to see out of a guy coming in late in the ball game, especially in a spot like this. Can you take care of business all your own? And he does. 96, painted top shelf. Away from Matthews, just can't catch up.
Allen swings a hard shot. Nice play by Muncy to his right. Low throw to first, and a great dig by Kurtz to bail him out. Good play on the corners by Muncy and Kurtz. And Max Muncy will lead off the bottom of the ninth, trying to win it in a 9-9 game. Of the 9-9 series finale, and a good look across the third base side wire cam brought to you by Defy. King still in the game, and it is Muncy, McNeil, and Denzel due up, unless Marcotte makes a change on McNeil. Max Muncy amped up after a nice play to end the top of the ninth inning at third, and a good dig on the other end by Kurtz. Max already has 2 hits this game. Does he have anything left for some late inning heroics?
I think it's fitting that Max Muncy, as you see Matthews take over in left field, but I think it's fitting that Max Muncy makes a good play there at the end of the inning and is the man leading this thing off. He's swung the bat well. He's hit the ball hard.
First pitch, he'll weakly ground to third. Correa comes up firing, and Muncy's out. You say it, sometimes the first pitch is your best pitch, and Max was early to swing there. King gets the first out of the ninth, and it is McNeil to swing away against the lefty. Outside, 1-0. Inside, 2-0. McNeil has an RBI single in this game. He's 1 for 3 with a single, a walk, and a run scored. 2-0, a take in. 3-0. Diaz looked back at Nick Lentz. Knows he has no challenges to play with. Rio, 4-pitch walk. See what Clark decides to do with Kurtz looming on deck. Denzel 1 for 6 with an RBI single and a run scored on this series. He'll take in. Outfield playing back a bit. He takes in again, 2-0.
6 straight now for the left-hander.
Three balls and no strikes. This is a hard take here for Clark. Gotta be, right?
Absolutely.
Now 3-1. King to the plate. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Clark loses his helmet.
Well, look, that's probably the pitch and the location that if you're going to let it fly, you do so. Fastball about over the plate.
Three and 2 pitch. Weekly grounded up the third base side. Tough play for King. Bare hand throw to first. Clark is safe. He's safe. That's all he needed. Just one step and he beats it out.
And there's nothing much you can do about this if you're King. Played it perfectly barehanded. Came up firing. This is just the athleticism, the speed of Denzel Clark, who's hightailing it down the line. Beats out the effort from King.
Kurtz knows spots like this against this team in this spot. 2 walk-offs in his career here against the Astros.
Yeah, it is not unfamiliar territory. Nick Kurtz hit one over everything, and then you remember, of course, against the all-star closer, Josh Hader, dead center shot.
Kurtz has reached base all 5 times he's come up. First pitch he'll take. Outside. 2 for 2 with a single and a double. He has 3 walks and a run scored. 1-0 pitch. Called strike on the breaker. Inside, 2-1. Gains the count, leverage. A troublesome foe is Kurtz to the Astros. He was going for the fences there. He missed. 2-2 on the sinker. take his time. Two-two pitch. A very professional take. 3-2.
Close indeed.
Left side open, 3-2 pitch. Swung through and missed. Kurtz didn't get it. 2 away. And with Langoliers coming up, Espada may go with a right-handed reliever here.
Well, just taking advantage of the left-on-left matchup, sinker down and in. Nick Kurtz just kind of runs out of bat, not able to get to that one. Looks like it's going to be Bryan Abreu on now. As Joe Espada makes the walk out to the mound, he'll take the ball from his left-hander. It'll be a right-on-right matchup. Abreu, Langoliers coming up.
Building until this very moment where we find ourselves in a 2-on, 2-out, bottom of the ninth, 9-9 situation. It's Bryan Abreu against Shea Langoliers.
Well, Bryan Abreu may be off to a bumpy start, but you know what this man is capable of, Chris. And right now, he's squaring off against one of the hitters off to the hottest start in baseball in Shea Langoliers.
It's Clark on first, McNeil at second. 2 away. Abreu from the stretch against Shea Langoliers. It's outside, 1-0. Pitch, fouled back.
I mean, that was a good pitch to hit right there. Just a hanging breaking ball, middle. Abreu got away with one.
It's a called strike. Bottom rung of the zone, 1-2.
Well, we see another pitch that backed up a bit. See if they decide to straighten one out with a fastball and then go back to that breaking ball. Will he throw a third one in a row here?
In the dirt, blocked well by Diaz.
Well, if Diaz doesn't knock that down, and you get McNeil over to third, it becomes a tougher approach for Abreu, who might like to bury another breaking ball, but you do not want to have it score through Diaz. So good job of holding runners at bay there with that block.
2-2 pitch. It's away, 3-2. Now both runners will get a head start. On first and second, Soderstrom waits on deck. Abreu in a tense situation. A's fans on their feet, hoping for some fun. 3-2 payoff. Shea pops it out of play. Foul. One up in the bullpen for the A's. If this game is to go a little longer, would be Hogan Harris, tasked with facing Altuve, Alvarez, and Correa. Abreu's 3-2 fouled off. That was a good pitch to hit.
So close. Man, I just don't know that the breaking ball for Abreu has had the finish that he'd like on it right now. So you're hoping you can just catch a mistake and capitalize on it. We'll start him up again, 3-2.
3-2 pitch. Shea grounds it up the middle. Altuve dives. McNeil's coming to the plate. The throw is dug out by Diaz, and they get him.
What an incredible play by Jose Altuve. At no point in time did he think about going anywhere but home. With McNeil off to the races on the 3-2 pitch, he was coming around to score if this ball was going to squirt through, and it just simply did not. Altuve with the backhand, the dig out by Yainer Diaz, the tag on the leg, and folks, we're going to extra innings. To that last half inning. Abreu indeed offers another breaking ball. Langoliers hits it hard back up the middle. Altuve, who's parked behind second base, has to track to his backhand side, a few feet out to the outfield. Again, McNeil off with the pitch, had a head start. I mean, he's halfway between second and third by the time this ball is put into play. But the wherewithal of Jose Altuve to commit to the cause at home plate, and never once did he hesitate. There was never a thought to go anywhere other than home plate, and you have to give a ton of credit to Diaz at the dish as well. To dig that ball out, and not only dig it out, but also apply the tag, hold on to the baseball with McNeil coming through. I mean, just an unfortunate way for that inning to end. Here's the scoop. I mean, that's just a heck of a defensive play by Diaz, simply put. Goes out and gets that ball on a short hop. Takes away the path after gathering the baseball.
Altuve is up. Curveball doesn't go. Nick Allen is the runner at second, the designated runner. Does he have a little bit of speed at second base? Muncy is playing in for safe measure, but
my goodness.
Each team earns a challenge back as we are in extra innings play. Three balls and no strikes. Altuve today, 2 for 4, a single, an RBI double, a walk, 2 runs scored. (3-1). Let it fly. Langoliers will be the designated runner. The bottom of the 10th. See where Hogan decides to go. Does he go up high with a fastball or slow him down? 3-2. He does go high with a fastball and misses his spot. Now it's the lefty-lefty against Yordan Alvarez. That doesn't go. Left side is open for Alvarez. Now And Nick Lentz is saying you got a challenge left because they didn't like that call. He looks into the dugout and says, you have a challenge left. Use it if you don't like it.
Well, I don't know that I like that. So here's where that previous pitch ended up, right at the top of the strike zone. You see Hogan Harris's reaction.
Big swing and miss, 1-2.
Hogan wondering.
1-2 pitch, blooped, foul.
So you can see Hogan barking, shaking his head like, hey.
You got a challenge left.
And he's telling him.
A wave and a miss. Harris responds with a strikeout to Alvarez. There's out number 1.
And that's a big out. That is a huge out right there. Hogan able to keep his composure, stay in the fight, spin a breaking ball out of the reach of Yordan Alvarez out on his front foot. Langoliers bodies up, keeps Nick Allen parked at second base, which keeps Altuve at first. The double play still in order.
And a strike to Correa. Missed in. One pitch, looping breaking ball into left. Allen had to hold up. He's rounding third. Soderstrom coming, firing to the plate. The throw is on time, but it's just high. And each Astro runner takes an extra base on the throw. Soderstrom made it closer than it could have been as Allen had to hold up for a second.
Well, and with Soderstrom letting that ball fly, it's going to come all the way into Langoliers at home plate. And the two base runners for the Astros read it well. Altuve gets to third. Correa into second base. And that ball just not quite on time. You can see Langoliers kind of give a little ground as to not be ruled an obstructor. And now Mark Kotsay on his way out. They're going to load the bases.
Looks like they're going to bring in Elvis. For the moment, it's just a conversation here. Now he makes the point to the bullpen. We will see another reliever with one out. Runners on first, second, and third. 10-9, the Astros lead in the 10th. After the intentional walk of Christian Walker, just one out, Cam Smith will face a new pitcher. And it is the right-hander Elvis Alvarado in late inning action.
And Mark Kotsay's got to go get himself a ground ball right now, and that's why Elvis Alvarado is in the game. You throw the numbers aside, the reason that you bring in a fireballer like Elvis is because he's got a 96+ mile-an-hour sinker, and you need to keep the baseball on the ground if you can.
There's an out to make at every base. Smith is 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs today. Corners in, middle back in the infield. Alvarado to the plate. And a swing and a miss. There's 98 on the four-seamer. it's almost built in these extra inning rules that more often than not, a run does come into score. It's a matter of just keeping it only one run.
That's it.
Threw his hips at it, but he didn't go. 1-1. The A's that will come up in the bottom of the 10th. Soderstrom, Rooker, and Wilson. That doesn't go. Reminder, the A's do have a challenge. They get it back in the 10th, the extra innings rule. Up and away, 3 balls and a strike. Alvarado's got nowhere to put him. Has to throw a strike here. Pitch. Smith pops it foul and out of play.
I love it. Let's go right back at him.
He's going to have to do it again, DB.
Well, hey, if you're going to go out on your shield. Your best, my best, here it goes. I don't care what you do well at the plate right now. I know what I do well, and I'm going to make you beat me. I'm not giving you anything. That's got to be the mentality for Alvarado right now.
3-2 pitch. Struck him out. He did it. 99 pumped it past Cam Smith. And he has one more out left to get.
I love it. Run it back. You got 99 in the gas tank. And like I said, if you're going to beat me, it's because I have challenged you. It's not because I'm giving you anything. Great job by Elvis.
And Air Diaz is up. 0 for 5 today. Bases loaded. First pitch. Late to it. Fouls it back. In the air, shallow right, Butler moving on, he is underneath and he makes the play. Elvis Alvarado comes in and stops the damage. The Astros do score a run, it's 10-9. One more chance for the A's, the 10th.
Back to the 5th inning. Soderstrom left on left against Stephen Oakland. Ball driven out to center. Myers couldn't corral it. Bases loaded at the time until Sodi unloaded him with a bases clearing triple. And that was, well, almost about 2.5 hours ago.
Yep, we're getting close to the 4-hour mark. Very close.
Well, it is, believe it or not, been a tightly contested affair throughout the entire ball game. There was not a 4 or 5 run gap, but in quick fashion that gap was closed.
Can the pendulum swing back one more time? It's Soderstrom, Rooker, and Wilson tasked with getting at least one run.
Well, the good news is it's Shea Langoliers out there at second base. I've talked a lot about the fact that Langoliers is not your average backstop when it comes to foot speed. He can scoot.
First pitch swings, Soderstrom misses on the slider, 0-1. You said Abreu's breaking stuff didn't seem like it had the same finish in the 9th inning. I wonder if that will carry over to the 10th. Up and out, 1-1. Pitch in the dirt. Langoliers is scooting towards third. The throw to third is late. Takes advantage of the wild pitch.
look, you got two opportunities here between Sodi and Rook to bring Langoliers in, and again that ball just kind of backing up. And Diaz trying to smother it. That ball kicks far enough away. Langoliers with a fantastic read. Carlos Correa somehow able to flag that down.
2-1 up top. 3 balls and a strike. Now Soderstrom can be in swing mode. A fly ball deep enough to the outfield will tie the game. And then leave it up to Rooker, who has been the hero once already today. 3-1 pitch is down low. Soderstrom stays patient, stays professional, draws a walk, and passes the baton to Rooker.
Well, you said it, partner. Rooker's done some damage already this afternoon himself. Took a blue ball heater in off the plate and made a deposit out into left field.
Right side open for Rooker. Has 3 RBIs today. A 4th would tie the game at 10-10 in the 10th. Abreu to the plate. It's high, 1-0.
And I think these are the types of at-bats here for Brent Rooker that can really get him locked and on a roll. He knows he's got a job to do. And kind of playing right into his hand.
And another good take, 2-0. Pitch. Rooker! Game over! Series over! The A's win it 12-10 on a walk-off! That had so many swings back and forth. A team that lost 11-0 yesterday comes back, shows all the fight in the world at home, and shows West Sacramento what this team is made of.
Resiliency, quality at bats, not letting the moment get too big. And that's why I felt like Brent Rooker in that moment was poised for success. He got count leverage, he got a fastball, and Brent Rooker got to cooking. Let Rook cook. And just when you needed a big swing with the game on the line, Rooker moves one vital piece. And Chris, it's checkmate via Rook.
A game that eclipsed 4 hours. I've lost my voice completely. Oh my goodness. This team has a way of making you jump out of your seat. This team is something special. And today, the heart and the soul of this club is the hero twice. The Athletics win 12-10. They can get on the jet and head to New York with some big smiles on their faces and all hands on deck effort, and they take care of their division opponents. Stay tuned, folks. A's Cast with Chris Townsend and Steve Sachs on NBC Sports, presented by Toyota, starts right